Hi guys, my name is Bumi. Welcome to a Life After video. I'm gonna talk about how to prepare yourself for PvPing. And by that I mean how to prepare yourself for Farstar and Charlestown. Reason why I've decided to do it is because I haven't really found any good video explaining how to prepare yourself properly. So sit back and enjoy.
Escape from I cannot let you go, no, 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 no.
Okay, so first thing we want to cover is food. Food in PvPing is crucial for winning the engages because it varies with various buffs as well as with heals. Now in my opinion, something you should stack yourself with is strawberry jelly because it offers you movement speed and increased crit chance buff. You can also use toffee for movement speed, but I'd rather use jelly for that extra damage. If you're however kind of glass canyon type of player, you can always make yourself spaghetti, do it with higher crit chance than jelly, but it won't offer you movement speed buff. Now spaghetti has one of resources that some of the players don't know how to obtain, the fine flour, which you can get by planting wheat in your garden. Then after harvesting it, you can turn it into fine flour at your farm's good maker. If you're however lazy to plant and wait for wheat to grow, you can always go to town hall at downtown in your camp and buy some from NPC called LIFEAFTER. Next thing you want to bring yourself with is honey water or hot water. Reason is because it's raining in Farstar and Charleston both, which can cause you to get cold. While getting cold, your movement speed is dramatically decreased, which makes you an easy target to shoot down. So you want to get rid of it as soon as possible. There's not much difference between hot water and honey water. They both remove your cold debuff, except honey water gives you some extra heal and fullness. Another food you want to bring yourself with is grilled pufferfish, which heals you for a huge amount of HP. The thing with pufferfish is, more fishes you use, more HP you'll gain. So for example, if I use only one pufferfish, it won't heal me up as much as 4 pufferfishes would. I still not recommend using 4 pufferfishes because the difference is not that big and you just waste your fishes, which are not that easy to obtain. Talking about HP, there's another food you should get and it's called Lobster Feast. Lobster Feast is used to increase your HP cap by 200, and while cooking it, always use one lobster, because no matter how much lobsters do you use, increased HP cap will remain the same, so using more than one lobster is a waste. If you don't know how to catch lobsters, here's what you should do. Get yourself some shrimp bait out of shrimps and berries. Easiest way to farm shrimps is in your camp pond after you max out cap for rare and valuable fishes, because then you'd only get common fishes like crabs, catfishes, and in our interest, shrimps. After getting yourself a nice stack of shrimp bait, go to Charlestown and do auto fishing. I'd suggest you to go to location where I'm at now, since you'd be safe from wanderers and getting killed while I AFK fishing. And one of the things that can help you hit that extra edge of DPS would be tier 3 camp food. Get along with your campmates to reach the tier 3 camp food and you'll get a nice extra 5% damage reward. Now when we've covered all the food you should get, let's move to other consumables that will help you a lot in your PvP battles. So first up is Tiny Element Red and Green Agent, which give you increased damage dealt and damage reduction. Red Agent gives you 6% increased damage, while Green Agent gives you 6% of damage reduction. Also, get yourself some Rainbow Paradises, which will give you a nice 5% damage reduction as well, but take in mind that you can only get one of it for every hour, so try to stack up with them before you start battling. Getting some medkits and adrenaline injections for extra healing is quite useful, and I'd suggest you getting some antiseptic pills because some players use infection energization, which decrease your health, but I'll talk about it later. Now let's talk about weapon and armor modifications. Obviously you should buy mechanical and armor materials daily from NPCs and mall if you can, because you can upgrade your mods with them, which will increase your weapon and armor stats. After your mods reach level 7 or 7 stars, you'll be able to get yourself something called temporary level on mods. Temporary level actually increases your mods level by 1, and using one material on one mod gives you 30 minutes of temporary level and it can stack limitless. So make sure you always get yourself temporary level before going to PvP zones. Next up is equipment. It's pretty much obvious that equipment is one of the most important parts to entire game because of the stats it offers to you. What you should be looking for PvPing is max stats for long range damage reduction on helmets, max stats for HP increase, armor amount and long range damage reduction on advanced suits, and as it comes to weapons, you should be looking for max AP only. Maybe like a point or two less on AP if it has fire rate 6% or more, recoil, etc. Also, try to get both Rainy Day and Collector Edition for the weapon you want to use. You should be using Collector Edition weapon while it's not raining, because rain would debuff any other weapon that's not Rainy Day. Obviously, when it's raining, you should be using Rainy Day weapon because not only that it's not affected by the rain, but it also gives you increased damage output on rainy days. If you don't know what the max stats are for the equipment you want to get, you can easily check it on Formula Research Station under the Formula Modification if you've been lucky enough to get the formula for the certain equipment you want to check. Basically, you just select adjacent formula, click an eye for modified preview and look up for the stats you need to know. If, however, you weren't lucky with the formulas, it's gonna be a bit tricky for you to find out what max stats are. You're either gonna have to get it or ask someone who has the formula to tell you what the max stats are. There's no other way of finding it out. And last but not least is barbed wire bat. The thing with bat is that you have no other use for it than movement speed. Find yourself a bat with nice movement speed buff, because it'll either help you run off the battles to heal up or chasing your opponents. It's also pretty useful if you're a Dark Carrier at the Charleston Clash. And oh boy, the next topic, it's about drones. Drones are the most hated thing in the game, but everyone uses them, so you should too. Drones are not really that complicated, it's just kind of hard to obtain a good one with good skills. Type of drone you should get for PvP is combat and the medic drone. Their names explain themselves, and mainly the skill you should be looking for are firing, crit, damage and attack enchantments, as well as missile skill for combat drone. Maybe a defense and HP enchantment, but you have to be pretty lucky to get one or find it on a market. As it comes to medic drones, basically what you should be looking for are recovery, decontamination and smart aid skills. Electromagnetic interference would be nice as well, because it disables opposing drones for a short period of time, but mainly stick to the first ones I've told you. Let's move on. Next comes Energization, which takes huge part in battling as well. Basically, you enchant your equipment with powerful buffs that'll help you win the engages. For Energization, you're gonna need Energization points, which you can get by extracting some scrap materials you don't really need. If you don't have any Energization formulas, go find Tex Brandon at Camp Valiant in downtown and buy the ones you need. Energization effects you should mainly be looking for are unyielding for your armor, and if your opponents use grenade launchers, get yourself anti-explosion expert over any other energization, because you can't really find any basic explosion damage reduction easily. As it comes to weapons, energize them with either Herald, which increases your damage in initial stage of combat, or Infection, which is powerful when fighting in groups because it decreases your opponent's health, disabling them from running and jumping and makes them easier target to kill. When you are energizing your equipment, don't just energize it once, because it won't give you its maximum potential. Rather keep energizing till you stack up to max bonus. I've seen many players doing this mistake and automatically losing every engagement they've done, so don't do the same mistake. Energize till you reach max attribute bonus. Another tip I have is for Rifleman cert players only. You have a nice skill called Patch, which gives you increased damage percentage per player killed. So go and match up at Nancy City, kill a few players till you reach max stacks, then leave it. But make sure you don't die, because you'll lose all the stacks you've gained. And the last thing I'd advise you to get is smoke bombs. Smoke bombs are pretty handy when it comes to disengaging or protecting the document carrier, because it disables vision for everything inside or from the other side of the smoke, making your opponents having a hard time shooting the target they tend to kill. And that will be pretty much everything you need to know about how to prepare yourself for PvPing in this game. Like the video if you find it useful, share it with your friends and mates that will find use from it, and don't forget to subscribe. See ya in the next one. Bye and happy survival.